Alrighty then. It's time to begin the 9th case. Twisted Karma and its last bow.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick
Jonathan.
fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder, an executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
Oh boy. Commonplace killing, but... 8 days after that earth-shattering trial and Cosmo regaining his memory, we were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. Oh man, this is snazzy. Professor Mikitoba is due to arrive at any moment. Yes, I'm so glad we got here in time. You don't look too excited. Susato thought I'd been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised. The truth about Kazuma-sama's father... Do you suppose my father knew that he was actually the mass murderer? The professor, you mean? Sorry about that. I sneezed. I knew what she was thinking about. It's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, they did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they? Yes, that's true. Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Mikitoba knew about Cosmo going missing in Hong Kong as well? That's right, but for some reason he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it. That probably means he knows then. About Cosmo showing up here in London with amnesia, and then he's regained his memory now. What is going on, and why... Like... Ah, there she is! Huh? Oh, Father! Hello, Susato. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted to see you safe and sound. Well, odd to see them in that attire, but hey. Hello, Mr. Naruto. Very kind of you to take the trouble to meet us here. Oh, no, not at all. It's my pleasure. We've heard about your extraordinary exploits here in London, you know. The news has crossed the seas. It has? I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain. Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this man, and why do I feel as though I've seen him before? He's the judge. I take it from your expression that you can't quite place me. In that case, how about a little reminder, Seshiro? A firm tap should do it. Yes. A firm tap? What? Here we go then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, guilty. Ah! Oh! You're... Yep. Yep. Oh! And... And that was a ban list. Or oh wow, that was three bots just tried to follow that just then. I mean, why wouldn't you carry that around with you? If you're a judge, you of course have to have a gavel with you at all times. Yeah, those last 3 follows were actually bots. So, yeah. I mean, hey, at least I get to show off. At least I get to see that the follow notifications are working. Yeah, Nightbot. Oh, Seribot is actually helping out really well. Also, hi, Adam. Your Excellency. Hello, Judge Jigoku. How are you? It's been a long time. Good. You remember now. That really did the trick. Guilty. Only I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? And there was no laughing at that time. So, London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back. Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited to an international synopsium like this. Though really, I doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Seshiro? Well, what do you talk about, Yushin? Of course, Judge Jigoku. He must complete the set. He's the only other man who 16 years ago came to London with Cosmo's father and Professor Mikotoba. He's the 3rd visiting scholar. Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through it. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? I knew you were jealous. Sorry, ministerial status? Yes, didn't you know? Seshiro here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal insistence that allowed you to take Cosmo's place here on this study tour. Guilty as charged! Oh, well, thank you very much. He's really every bit as important as he looks. He's so important, he gets his own name. Oh yes, now Mr. Nahodo. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday. Oh, you did? It appears that some things came to light in a trial you were involved with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. That tragedy. Yeah. Yes, could you tell us any more about it? Oh, these two come in a set. Oh. Professor Mikotoba, I wonder, could I show you something? Why do you seem so nervous? I suppose because I'm a student showing something to a professor. That's always quite nerve-wracking. Well, I'm sorry I perturb you in that way, but anyway, I'm afraid I have nothing useful to say about that, really. Well, well, of course we gotta look around. Look at that, it's a picture of the Crystal Tower. I must have... Sorry, I probably must have ruined my... hurt my voice a lot yesterday. So I'm coughing a little bit. Look at that, a picture of the Crystal Tower. Well, the Great Exhibition is one of Britain's most prestigious achievements in recent years. I wonder how tall it is. It really does represent the pinnacle of scientific achievements in so many ways. There's a 20-meter tall chimney on the bathhouse near my lodgings at Yume University. The attendant there is always boasting that it's the tallest object in the neighborhood. I'm sure. Did you know that over the channel in Paris is a tower that's 300 meters tall? What? How? How many times taller than the chimney at Yume Soken Hot Springs is that? And if it's that tall, how does it drop properly? The smoke would get stuck, surely! I don't think it's that sort of tower, Mr. Naruhodo. Excuse me, gotta blow my nose. Anyway. Have you seen all those sparkling jewels up there? They must have gathered every gem in the world for that. It's called Chandelier, I believe. It's designed to provide elegant lighting in large, spacious rooms like this. So they had to gather every gem in the world just to illuminate one room? It's probably electric light bulbs that are actually throwing the light. If I tried to hang something like that from the ceiling in the office, it would be scraping on the floor. I think perhaps chandeliers aren't for you, Mr. Naruto. That desk is known as the hotel reception. Anyone wanting to spend the night has report there to sign in for their stay. Oh, so do you think that's the head clerk behind the desk there? Yes, I'm sure it must be. I'd love to stay in a grand hotel like this for a while, wouldn't you? Just to know what it's like. Didn't we already? If the hotel fee was paid through our stipend, I'm afraid it might bankrupt our homeland. True. London gives the word the word expensive a whole new meaning. Ugh. I was feeling fine before I started streaming. Like, I swear. Look at all those cases just left on the trolley. Aren't they worried about thieves? I know I am. Haven't you seen the porter over there? Don't worry, obviously he's keeping an eye on things. Ah, so it's a trap, designed to catch any chancers who might be tempted. Hey, why did that porter give me such a scathing look just now? Do you suppose... Well, some might say you look a little suspicious with your jet black clothes. Not everyone clad in black is some sort of ninja with intent to steal, you know. Okay. Excuse me, gotta blow my nose. Okay. Your journey from Japan. So, how was the voyage here? Well, 50 days at sea is a long time by anyone's standards, but it wasn't as bad when we first came 16 years ago. No, that's true. Well, I truly wonder if we wouldn't be drifting in the vast ocean for the rest of our lives. This time we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience. Ah, so you stopped at France's beautiful capital, Paris? We did, yes, though only for one night. And yesterday evening we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover. Just in time for the Synopsium, in fact. It starts tomorrow. It's wonderful that you are invited to attend such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father. It's thanks to Seishiro here. 16 years ago, he managed to integrate himself with Britain's Attorney General. I'm sure that's why he was invited, and I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage by default. Speak for yourself, Yujin. You were close friends with the professor of forensic science at a major hospital. Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that up, really. No, there's been a lot of water on the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back. Cosmo's father, I suppose. Alright, so let's talk about that. The professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy, was actually Cosmo's father, wasn't he? That's correct. Genshin Osuki. Genshin? You knew, I presume, Father? Yes, he was a close friend at the time. Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. He was studying investigative techniques at Scotland Yard. I've never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts. It's a closed trial, so the public never knew the truth, and he was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in our homeland. But what about Kazuma? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father? No, of course not. He was told his father passed from sickness. However, I suspect he may have had his doubts. Oh, why? As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up, as if he were my own son. Then one day, he came to my office at the university and said, I've decided I want to travel to Great Britain and study there. Do you think he wanted to come here and investigate his father's death? I don't know. But when I looked into his eyes, I did know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him. Something else came to light in that trial the other day, actually. Oh? What? Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year, Cosmo has since turned up here in London, working as the apprentice of Lord Van Zykes. What? What? That's news to us. So, They didn't know. Lord Stormheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then. So they didn't know about Cosmo's reappearance? As you know, we both thought Cosmo had died on the steamship during our voyage to Great Britain and Japan. But he didn't die. He's alive. As you knew, didn't you, Father? In actual fact, no. What I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished. We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to ascertain what happened, but to no avail. But he's still alive, and here in London, you say? I never dared even dream of it. Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now. Well, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia. What? Amnesia? When we first came across him him again in London, he didn't know who either of us were. I see. He only regained his memory 8 days ago. This is unbelievable. Yes, it's quite miraculous. I wonder why Lord Strongheart didn't let us know. Must speak with him urgently. I wonder how Cosmo's been these past few days. Would it be wrong of us to go and visit him? That began 16 years ago now. It's a distant memory, really. It was Yushin here, Genshin Atsugi, and myself. We were the original three. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study. Ocean voyages were not what they are today, I can tell you. "16 years ago, things were tough for their generation. Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at Yume University at the time, you know, young lady." "Yes, grandmother told me." "He went to do research at a great London hospital to study autopsy, practically unheard of in Japan." "Yes, it was an eerie place, sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground. Ugh, not more talk of graves. Very often, there's no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work. So you see, autopsy labs have something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons. Not my cup of tea at all." "So do you remember that Scottish prison governor? Kaiden, his name was. He was a good man." "Yes, but then of course in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case, when Genshin was arrested for a series of the most gruesome murders. I simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years. I was a witness of the secret hearing, and I tried to speak in his defense, but you went a little too far and ended up facing charges yourself, didn't you? Well, suffice to say that after the trial, we were sent back to Japan. There was nothing more we could do to save Genshin. He was a lost cause, sadly." Well, if you'll excuse us now. Yes, I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible. Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have held you up here for so long. I'll call for the porter then. Just wait here. Sada-san's got off at a run. I'd like to stay and talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow. Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility representing our entire country. I wish you the best of luck. Naruhodo, I hope you'll keep an eye on Susato for me. Keep looking after her as you obviously have been. Oh, no, I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me. Well, I do appreciate you being there for her. After all, I've been a miserable father to her. I've thoroughly let her down. Sorry, what do you mean? Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study tour here in Britain, as you know. The very year Susato was born. Yes, I heard. The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... well, sadly, it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too. Oh, yes, Susato-san hinted at something like that. It was a rather turbulent time at home. Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man. and it was then that Seishiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain. I was too worried about you to leave you behind. So perhaps I was a little heavy-handed. I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London. So that's what happened in a nutshell. And that's also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not really readily afford young women such things, I must say. I completely understand, Professor. Ah, one other thing, Naruto. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you. Oh, really? Of course. Well, what can I do for you? Well, the thing is, I'm sorry it takes so long. Mr. Sato, now then, allow us to take your bags. Uh, allow me to take your bags. One moment, if you please, Porter. Of course, sir. That machine around your neck, it's a camera, I believe. Quite right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at the hotel, sir. Well, I think given the occasion, we should justify the expense. Ah, yes, of course, sir. I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruto. It's really made Father very happy, I think. Oh, well, I'm pleased then. But we were interrupted before Professor Migatomo was about to ask me something. Shall I return to Baker Street then? I expect Iris will have some delicious tea waiting for us. Yes, let's go. I'm more and more anxious about Cosmos, though. Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask him, ask after him. Alright, let's go. Well, why don't we go to Lord Chief Justice's office? Oh. Here's the final draft of the opening address for tomorrow's proceedings. I've supplemented your original with the figures you asked for from the yard. I see. Excellent work. Thank you. You're welcome, my lord. What's all Van Zyke's doing here? My, there seems to be an awful lot of tension in the air, wouldn't you say? This place is stifling enough as it is. We really don't need any more tension. My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. Your small stature and dark dress make you all but invisible to me. Oh, no, it's entirely my fault for wearing black, I'm sure. But from now on, you must dress in white from head to toe whenever you come here. Now then, Mr. Naruto. Yes, my lord. Right here. Kill me now! Is something wrong? Perhaps it's a little too hot in here for you. Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I've never experienced a room that's such a perfect temperature. If you're sure, the beads of sweat carving their way down your face seem to suggest otherwise. Because of the daggers you're staring at me with, mainly! As you're no doubt aware, my International Forensic Synopsium begins tomorrow. In fact, your father arrived in London earlier today, I hear, madam. Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He is extremely honored to have been invited. I'll leave the remaining preparations for the meeting room in your capable hands then, Lord Van Zykes. I'll attend at once. He gave me a very cold stare as he left, didn't he? I know, but I haven't done anything. Have I? Not yet. These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right hand of many years was recently put out of action in spectacular fashion. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is your left hand still of service? Is it Naruto? He's talking about Dr. Scythe! Oh, of course! I'm terribly sorry about that. I was just, fear not. You've done nothing wrong. Dr. Scythe's own wrongdoing precipitated the situation. You needn't concern yourself with any further. That would be a lot easier to do if it weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me! Lord Van Zykes is doing an admirable job of holding the fort. Though, disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday. Oh, missing? What's become of Cosmo-sama now? Not long ago, visitor numbers to the Great Exhibition exceeded 30 million. 30 million? Are there even that many people in the world? Yeah, there's a lot more. As a comparison, Mr. Naruto, the population of the imperial capital Tokyo is 2 million. I will be opening the International Forensic Science Synopsium in the exhibition's main auditorium. Oh! More bots! This event has been 2 years in the making. 2 years of preparation and negotiation with other countries. It sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations. Another bot. That's like 5 bots. That's like 5 bots just today. Jeez. The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques. Jeez. And cooperation between policing organizations and the globe will be essential. Which is why this landmark first synopsium had to be hosted here at the heart of our great British Empire. In order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the New World. He's the same as ever, I see. That passion of his is quite something. You're every bit as passionate as you're in your own way. I'm sure, Mr. Naruto. I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about a future that embraces forensic science. It is my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions. I first established the forensic investigation team a year ago, experimentally to start with. With Dr. Scythe at the helm, it was steadily accruing an impressive record of achievement. I was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a full-blown forensic investigation department. And can you not do that now? Obviously, nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep the story out of the papers. 6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancements in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say. Yep. And if they're not banned, then they can be done they could do even more harm. They could do even more harm if they're not banned. So, yeah. As much as I would love to inflate my follower numbers, the fact is they're a lot more dangerous to keep following me. Otherwise, because essentially, I believe as of now, they're basically any followers actions are I'm accountable for my followers' actions apparently. So, yeah. That's as far as I understand, at least. So, if say a bunch of bots starts spouting a bunch of slurs, it it would reflect badly on me because they follow me. So yeah, it's a slippery slope. It's icky. And unintended repercussions of our trial. We simply couldn't have overlooked what had happened, though. Of course not. We should all be grateful to you both. Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way. About Lord Van Zyke's apprentice. Ah yes, that came as a surprise to me, I must say, that you and he are old friends. How did he become an apprentice to Lord Van Zyke's in the first place? It came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel. Oh my, so he stowed away to get here. He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia too. Other than the fact he was clearly of Eastern descent, there were no clues as to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Van Zyke's, that way I could keep an eye on him. But then, why the mask? I didn't want to burden Lord Van Zyke's with tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice, because it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask. He's proving to be a great help to Lord Van Zyke's. I have high hopes for him for his future. By the way, do you know where he's gone? No idea, but I believe he left London for the time being. Oh. I take it you also didn't know that the man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, I mean, Genshin Asugi. What we learned from the trial 8 days ago was a huge shock, finding out my friend's father was, yes, Genshin Asugi. The professor case 10 years ago caused a great stir here in Britain. They were such awful murders and unprecedented, using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon. Ugh. And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. Ugh. So the true identity of the killer couldn't be made public then, and can't be made public now. Nobody in your country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London. The main motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between the two nations at the time, I understand. Correct. However, it has been to be noted that there were some supporters of the professor's apparent cause. What? Supporters of a mass murderer? The majority of the man's victims were a blight on the aristocracy of the day. Somewhat ironically, their deaths actually benefited society as a whole. Okay, that's messed up. That's messed up. Or so a fair few figures in London believed anyway. Right, I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it? So basically the French Revolution. Like the murders of the French Revolution and stuff. It seems very similar, doesn't it? To the idea of the Reaper of the Bailey. My apologies. Well, there's still, the shovel's still there. The spade is still here, look. Please, Mr. Naruto, it's not a spade, as I think you well know, it's a shovel. It didn't take long to reignite that old argument. Ah, I have an idea. Let's give it the element of name, like Professor Harebrained named his tools. Ooh, I never thought of doing that. From now on, then, let's call it Ryunosuke. No, it's clearly much more of a Susato. The old argument has taken a new and unexpected turn, it seems. That Dharma doll is still winking at me, look. I wonder when he'll finally get his other eye filled in. Yes, I wonder. Well, you should know, Susato-san. I entrusted the task to you. The truth is, I have already decided when that will be. What? Really? When? That's my little secret. It's a lovely photograph we took together when I had to leave London, though. Well, it was a sad day, but I happily have the same photograph on display in my room at home, you know. Now that we're back together again, it would be nice to take a new photograph. Oh yes, that would be wonderful. You see, I've been keeping my desk beautifully covered in papers as always. You really must tidy it all up, Mr. Naruto. No more excuses. But Mrs. Sato, the way I see it, all these papers building on my desk like this are a reminder of my wonderfully diverse daily life. I like to leave them as they are, so I never forget how lucky I am to have such varied experiences. In that case, you should definitely have a thorough tidy. Then you'll be able to see your papers building up all over again and feel the joy renewed. Still can't be in an argument even though I'm the lawyer here. Huh? What's this? My desk is just as it was before I left. Sumi ink and calligraphy brush, even though we're in England now. That strikes me as typically you, Mrs. Sato, and typically not you at the same time. Now, I do enjoy all the wonderful new things that come out of the West in the Cultural Revolution, of course. But I'm not ready to give up my brush just yet. And anyway, Susato-san could write more neatly with a brush than most people can with a pen. Practice makes perfect, as they say. all the sea life seemed very content in there, I must say. I've noticed something recently, actually. The anemones breed at the most extraordinary rate. Oh, really? It's a mystery why the whole seabed isn't buried in a mountain of them, actually. Oh, how splendid! That really is a mystery, isn't it? I wish there was someone here to explain Susada-san's strange reaction to that. Anyway, back to it. Those things weren't always there, were they? What? What was that? A man screaming in a most unflattering way. Do you think it could have been Mr. Sholmes? Oh my, I hope not. I, I, I don't do it anymore. Mon ami. Stop this disgraceful display, huh? What? Who are these people? What are they? Look at their hair, it's bright red! I think they must be clients of Mr. Sholmes. Right, you two, you're coming with me now. Down to the clink. No, not in prison. It's dark and damp and I don't like it. Don't like it. Both the darkness is my friend. I am not scared. But you are scared of the dark. Shut your mouth, idiot. I will sit quietly in the dark and play on those daring ice. I don't like it. I don't like it. Well, tough. We'll finish this down at the yacht. Now get moving. Bye then, Ginny. Have fun. Oh yeah, thanks, Iris. And thanks, you great detective. What the heck just happened? Gina makes a fine detective herself, doesn't she? Oh, Susie and Bruno. Hello, Iris. We're home. Well, did you find your daddy? Yes, we arrived at the hotel just before he and his friend. Oh, well, that's great news. I hope I'll get to see my daddy again soon. Oh, no! 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 Oh, don't remind me! Yes, of course, Dr. John H. Wilson. So, Iris, all that remains is the greatest problem known to man! What the frick? But before we concern ourselves with that, I believe some tea is in order, don't you think, my dear fellows? Sholmes! Sholmes! Is something wrong, my Mr. Naruto? Do I have a crumb of or such like on my face? Are you serious? No, not so much on your face as on your head, I'd say. Come along then, everyone. I've brewed a lovely special blend. Time for tea. Somehow this it looks odd seeing their bright red hair compared to Iris's pink hair. I don't know. What is going on here today? In that case, let us sit down and sit and drink now. For I am, in fact, expecting a guest later today. Okay, there's a few things to look at, such as this newspaper. This looks like last week's edition. What's that article circling on red ink there? It's an advertisement column. It says, "To the Red-Headed League." The Red-Headed League? What's that? I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but... Is something on my face? Clearly this has something to do with that lively hair. And this mask. The mask Cosmo wore when he was assigned to Lord Van Zyx as his apprentice. When he cast it aside after the trial the other day, I just sort of picked it up. Fair enough. We ought to give it back to him, I suppose. But he has his memory back now, doesn't he? And I can't help feeling he might turn around and tell me coldly to wear it myself. Then again, I mean, come on, like, since you gave up the sword, it's a fair trade for the sword, at least. Maybe not the most fair, but it's a trade at least. But isn't he your best friend? A lot could change in a year and after amnesia. That's the thing. Anyway, what's on the board this time? This blackboard is where Iris scribbles down her latest ideas, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, she seems to have drawn a lot of little stick figures all lined up. Look. Cheap apples at the market is what all of them say. What? The little figures can speak? All your questions would be answered if only you would read this month's Rants magazine. So I'm the only one who can't make any sense of this. Also, was that there all this time? Sorry, I gotta use the bathroom again. I keep drinking a lot of water. Be right back. Why is my water Alright. Alright. Back to it. Oh, I should also actually appear back in frame. And also not be, like, right there. So, your two visitors, who are they? Mr. Sholmes, who are the two gentlemen that were here before? Oh, just a pair of petty criminals. Nothing of significance. Of course, they have to make a living somehow. And when the mood takes me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manners of infractions. When the mood takes you? All manner of infractions? But, when such fellows set their sights on Mr. Herlock Sholmes, well, that's when their luck runs out. Oh my, you were the target of a crime, Mr. Sholmes? But I quickly devised a plan to entrap them and deliver them to our young detective ally. You should have asked Grexy to come too. We could have had an arrested tea party. I did send word, but no answer was forthcoming. The man is consummately in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a word for it, I'm sure. Aha, I have it! A bungler! That's the word! It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that. So those redheads have been up to no good. I wonder what the man did. So the greatest problem. What was that about the greatest of problems known to man that you mentioned before? Is it another fiendishly intricate case, Mr. Sholmes? How should I best explain it? Are you aware of the theory of evolution by natural selection, perchance? That was on the newspaper in the last case. Well, I think I've heard talk of it somewhere, possibly. Yeah, Charles Darwin was mentioned. It's a revolutionary science theory that was newly proposed 40 years ago now. According to its author, Mr. Darwin, we humans were once apes who lived in the treetops. Wait, what? We were apes? Yeah, it's a bit unbelievable, but I mean, it has some merit. Indeed, and from the very moment those apes descended from the canopy to live as humans, it had been our lot to be at the mercy of the greatest problem known to man. Our lot? Well, what is this great problem, Mr. Sholmes? Why, is it not obvious, my dear madam? The problem of rent! Seriously? Seriously? But did you not receive a rather large sum of money from Madame Tussauds only the other day? Pshaw, a large sum? Our potted herb for Iris and our new motor car for me later. And all of it has quite disappeared, I assure you. Honestly, Hurley, you know you squandered it. Yes, well, anyway, 2 days ago, I discovered the answer to man's greatest problem, for the coming month at least. And what was the answer? Why, there is a substantial clue before your very eyes. Don't tell me, let me see. Humans are sorry creatures, unable to see what's in front of their noses. Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but observe me very closely. There's one particular feature about my person that has changed. You should notice it in the end, I think. Oh, I have no idea. Nothing has changed about you at all. In the end? It's been stabbing me at both eyes right from the very beginning of our conversation. I think we might need another clue before we uncover the full answer, Mr. Naruto. Thanks for the hint. I'll be tearing my hair out of this charade if the charade goes on much longer. Oh my gosh, he has contacts. Ah. So what about the lie you told? Mr. Sholmes, isn't it about time you told us the truth? Just over a week ago, you said to us, I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. That case aboard the SS Beria in January. Kazuma wasn't killed, and you knew he wasn't dead at the time. So what was really going on? Sholmes, what are you doing? The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. If he hadn't regained consciousness when he did, his life would have been in mortal peril. Huh? Of course, a side effect of the prolonged comatose state was amnesia, as you now know. I guess that makes sense. I mean, if you're unconscious for too long, and oxygen not getting to the brain or something like that. It was simple enough task to silence the crew, but how? After they carried him out of the cabin, I assembled them in the lobby area. Then I made them swear to leave him unconscious and have him unladen from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse. What? But why? Oh, how horrible! But why? It was necessary to find some material with which to persuade the crewmen to keep their word, of course. But why? Why do it in the first place? I will be at liberty to elaborate in due course. Okay. For the time being, I would like to reassure you, I didn't foresee subsequent events. What events? His disappearance in Hong Kong. Oh. I believe I may have made a gross error of judgment. Mr. Sholmes. So I don't get it. Okay. It looks as though someone circled an advertisement in this paper, Mr. Sholmes. To the Red-Headed League. Does that strike you in some way? I was thinking that just maybe it might be related to your bright red hair! So, at last you learnt to apply my methods, Mr. Naruto. Sorry? In the first instance, and quite indispensable observation. Believe me, I could have seen that hair with my eyes shut! So then, allow me to regale you with the details of my latest exploits. Regale or boast? We should probably look at that. Oh, okay. Never mind. On account of the bequest of the late Ezekiah Hopkins, Lebanon, PA, USA, there is now another vacancy which entitles a member of the League to a salary of £4 a week for purely nominal services. All red-headed men who are sound of body and mind and above the age of 21 years are eligible. Apply in person on the morning of the 31st at the large park on Lime Street. What? Okay, and so all these other ones. Okay, let's see that. Let's look at these. Sorry, I'm gonna have to actually get closer to the screen. Not that close. Let's see. Despite the condition of the City of London, of late, it has been a positive year so far. Public health. There have been fewer cases of consumption reported when compared to this last year. And smallpox is at an all-time low thanks to the vaccinations offered at the smallpox fever hospitals throughout the various parts of London. Who'd have thunk it? Vaccination helps. Doctors, however, warned that there appears to be beginning of yet another cholera epidemic on the horizon. Although the cause of such outbreaks remained unclear, the public is strongly advised to drink only water that has previously been boiled. St. Bartholomew's Hospital, the latest research findings, London. Physician John Snow concluded many years prior that there's a strong correlation between contaminated water and prevalence of certain diseases. In fact, the latest news arrived from the continent is consistent with our own research. Is so-called germ theory, but when minuscule microorganisms are the actual causes of many illnesses. Nobody community has already begun to identify the categories of tiny creatures as microscope. Okay, so this one's health advisory notices for the City of London to be generally in public. And drinking water, do not drink any water that's not been previously boiled. Fresh water ought to be boiled. Do not let water stand where it might be adulterated with dirt or other contaminants. This has been shown to reduce incidence of transferred disease. Retrospection, like truly more than any other nation, Britain has been successful in its endeavors thanks in part to the generosity of many investors. Yada yada. Sir Isaac Newton. Adam Smith's magnum opus, Wealth of Nations, published in 1996. Doctrine of laissez-faire had only begun truly take root in the land. Yada yada. However, okay, nothing too crazy in terms of like Easter eggs. But anyway, Red-Headed League. So what is the Red-Headed League, which seems to be the subject of the advertisement you've circled? You noticed it in the paper then. That, my dear fellow, was going to be the source of this month's rent payment. It was? How? According to this advertisement, the Red-Headed League is a distinguished institution of fellows of unspecified governance. In fact, the only condition for becoming a member is having red hair. That doesn't entirely surprise me. But listen to what lucky redheads receive once they join. An unconditional salary of £4 a week. Oh my, £4 a week? But why? Why are they paying people for? That I don't know. No details are given in the advertisement. That's sketchy as heck. But surely even every redheaded person in the country would be flocking to join in that case. You're right, Susie. There's no time to lose. I'll put in my application at once. So will I, just on the off chance. That might be stretching a point, I think. The trouble is, they have a fixed number of members, you see. Oh, I see. So once a certain number of people have joined, no one else can. But as luck would have it, one member recently passed away. It wasn't particularly lucky for the redhead in question, I feel, Mr. Sholmes. So you decided to try and join in his place? Correct. I mean, look at me! Have you ever seen such a red-headed fellow? No. So why did it have to go so wrong? What on earth happened? A blunder, Mr. Naruto. Though it pays me to admit it. So what did you do this time? What did you actually do to your hair, Mr. Sholmes? I'm glad you asked, Mrs. Hutto. What you see atop my head is neither dye nor a hairpiece. I changed the color of my hair overnight. By the wonders of chemistry. Chemistry? That's dangerous. I'm conducting some research into a method of rejuvenating spread tea leaves. In the course of my work, I stumbled upon a potion that when taken, turns one hair a flame-like red. Would you like to try it? It will make every hair on your body perfectly crimson. I think I'll pass. Besides, my hair is already beautifully red. Wouldn't you all agree? But Mr. Sholmes is it quite safe to drink? Surely it's bad for you, isn't it? Amateurs are always hampered by such fears. Oh, I should never have doubted you, Mr. Sholmes. You mean to say... But of course. 204 pounds a week, one must be prepared to turn a blind eye to a little danger. The degree of red signals more than just a little danger, surely. So anyway, Hurley left it full of confidence yesterday with his new red hair. For the park on Long Street where the Red-Headed League were interviewing prospective new members. So what went wrong? The whole park was chocked with red-headed folk, like a coaster's orange barrow. I queued for 8 hours solid before at last I reached the front. But when the panel of interviewers saw me, they immediately said, "Ah, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, are you in disguise to conduct an investigation?" Seriously? You're too famous. You're too famous for your own good. So naturally, I had no choice but to reply, "Shh, don't give me away." After which, I could do little else but turn and leave. So this morning, when I looked in the mirror, irritation stirred within me. So I turned that pair into the police. Oh dear, what a disaster. For Hurley and those two redheads. Uh-huh. Aha! Aha, here's my guest now, my latest client, with money to spend. Ooh, I hope it's an exciting case, Hurley. Remember, Iris, we're at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating, save locating a runaway, of course. And don't spare anyone's feelings, will you? Oh dear, I'm afraid that Hurley can lack a little tact, especially before the rent is due. Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, please, oh please, please find my husband, he's run away! To upset me? I beg your pardon, Never mind, a personal matter? My apologies. What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Naruto? I didn't say a word! Come, my dear madam, be seated. Iris, some tea if you please. Of course. Of course. What's the matter, Mrs. Sato? Oh, it's just the gentlewoman. Yeah, we've seen her before. I feel sure I've seen her somewhere before. Very recently. Yes, now that you come to mention it. Yeah. Yeah, we've definitely seen her before. As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. Or Evie Vigil? Like ever vigilant? I implore you to take the case, sir. Money is no object, simply name your figure. Money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madam. Being offered a case to solve is reward enough. Don't actually say that! You need money! Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're the picture of benevolence. I will, of course, make a mental note of your offer, however, for contingent reasons. I trust you will remember your words also. If I might inquire, sir. This gentleman and lady would be... Oh, me? What am I about to tell you? I should like to communicate in the strictest of confidence. Understand? These are my friends. I assure you, you may say before this pair anything which you may say to me. Ah, I see. I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. He's hard of hearing. But thanks! Serious, yeah, thanks, Sholmes. Why did I ever get my hopes up? Mrs. Vigil, would you mind casting your eyes over this? Oh, my poor Daly. Her baby gone. What's become of you? I'm afraid she's too worried about her husband to pay any attention, Mr. Naruto. Either that or she just doesn't want to be bothered with me. Anyway, let's talk. Mrs. Vigil. Forgive me for my asking, Mrs. Vigil, but have we met somewhere before? Quite recently, perhaps? Oh my. Saw, my dear fellow, what is your intention? Clearly you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English. If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in more gentlemanly fashion. Is it possible that you're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week? Ah! I knew I recognized her. Yeah, it's hard to forget. To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine. I didn't quite recognize her before because she's acting so differently now. You know, I could tell because of... Never mind. It must be very difficult for you as a lawyer, being hard of hearing, I mean. Pardon? Pardon? Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It was frippery, really, nothing more. No, look what you've started, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you very much! I believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner. Yeah. Yes. So about Mr. Vigil. Yep, probably. That would probably make the most sense, actually. Just like probably why they get the same people sometimes, because they just keep passing this courtroom. Tell us about your husband, madam. Madam, Mr. Vigil, my Daly is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here. Wait. Dare I ask? Okay. Yeah, a literal child was one of the jurors. What the heck? I mean, yet even that doesn't strike me as odd about the jury in this game. I have a photograph here. An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. He looks kind of okay for the ripe old age of 40. How long have you been married? It will be 15 years this year. Ooh, congratulations! We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably. Not to brag, as it would appear. I need only look at you to know these things. Oh gosh. Your dress is the latest style. Your hat clearly regularly groomed, and your hairs are and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct? That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty, and he rather dotes on me. Dare I ask, does he have red hair? Which would point to the possibility that he has become embroiled in some incident or other. Oh, that is exactly what I fear must have happened, Mr. Sholmes. I'm quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will? What exactly is your husband's line of work? He's a warder at the prison. A guard? That is somewhat unusual. Okay, okay. So your husband is a prison warder? That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's the chief warder. Ah, indeed. I see. Well, chief prison warder seems like certainly qualifies as something of a specialist occupation. Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see that they're carried out. Dreadful punishments? Does she mean capital punishments? And at such times, he must occasionally spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. For that extra responsibility, he is remunerated more handsomely than the other warders. Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work to the neighbors. Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, at what prison is your husband engaged? Barclay Prison, Mr. Sholmes. Really? Barclay? Oh, a fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there is a large cemetery just behind it. Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery. No! Lowgate Cemetery, the very place we were discussing a cart! It's unbelievable! Unbelievable, my dear fellow. And yet undeniable. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid you've lost me. Ah, pay no heed, madam. Pay no heed. A private matter. This can't really be a coincidence, can it? Is she also not questioning his red hair? Or is she just being polite? So, to the matter of your husband's disappearance, when did you realize he was missing? Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday. I'm sorry, yesterday? That really is recent, laughably so. The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away for his work. It's not at all out of the ordinary for him not to return home at night, but this is different. For him to not to make any contact for a whole day, that has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Daly, whatever can have happened? My dear Mrs. Vigil, please, calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police? Why, naturally, but sadly, they refused to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for one day. Yeah, I was asked to wait patiently at home. In truth, Mrs. Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyway. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. And furthermore, let me assure you, a chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That's really all there is to it. You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay this any sum you care to mention. You seek only to put the suite's rent in your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it. Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Mrs. Vigil. I believe that I have all the information I need to begin my investigation. Oh, please report to me with some good news, sir. Fear not, madam. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report, I'm quite sure. So soon? Oh, how splendid, Mrs. Sholmes. Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession? Oh yeah, we got evidence. Thank you. Now, allow me to show you to the door. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Sholmes. You've been simply marvelous. He's gonna be frustrated when she leaves. You know, I think it every time, Hurley. But how do you come out with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two? Are you sure? I can't be sure, of course, but then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope to be able to give her good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of the day tomorrow. If by that time I've successfully located Mr. Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Nahuda? Don't look at me with those pleading eyes. Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case? Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. Excellent. And what did you make of it? Well, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked, at Barclay Prison, I mean. He's gonna be murdered, isn't he? Oh, so you noted that. Of course, especially with the mention of Lowgate Cemetery.
Lowgate Cemetery is a rear of Barclay Prison. Though it was renowned for among us students at the university, he haunted by the ghost of a dead convict.
Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated. Professor. And now a boarder from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. It's all very peculiar. Indeed. But nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain. Mr. Nahuda? Sorry, run along to the prison and see what you can glean. Would you? It's the prison governor you want? No doubt the man is equally worried. But aren't you going to go yourself? Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly be seen out with this hair! Fair enough. But didn't you get a live stream with that hair? That was a quite different matter. So I am leaving it in your capable hands. Now, if you excuse me, I'm rather busy. Of course you do. Of course you are. Alrighty, well. Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing onto a lonely burial ground. Its four high outer walls loomed quietly before us in the fog. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watchtower. Oh, gosh! Oh, boy, that is, I do not like that. I do not like that. The place is full of hardened criminals. I cannot remember the last time I said this was done here. And you didn't want to talk to an inmate but me? Wait, the frick? You know who I am? I'm the governor, Barry Kaiden. Oh, yes, it's a pleasure. Yeah, seriously! It's a freaking safety hazard! It's a pleasure. I'm not really just getting out a defense attorney. An Eastern, I see. Does that mean... Yes, I'm a visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan. Japan! Did you say Japan? Yes? Well, there's no any of your kind here, laddie. But maybe you should try the prison next door, eh? I didn't notice another prison next door, sir. Anyway, we came to ask you questions. I didn't like to be direct, but I've no intention of speaking with the likes of you suspicious-looking Easterners. Now get out of my hair. So as soon as he finds out that we're from Japan, he reacts like this. That surely means... racist? I mean, I think it's because of the professor case. You think so too? That's also possible, but still, 10 years ago, Genshin Asugi, also known as a professor, was incarcerated at this prison. And then, after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave from the cemetery behind the prison. I might have known. You're stirring about this case, aren't you? Your agents are part of the professor's great whip, no doubt. No, not at all. We're just get going with you before I punch your lights out. We're going. Clearly, Ghost of the Killer still haunts this place. We're not going to get anywhere here unless we can somehow prove this man that there's nothing suspicious about us. Governor Kaiden, what are you thinking, Mrs. Sato? I'm sure I heard that. I'm sure that name came up in conversation recently, but somewhere. I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have somebody to help us. Come to think of it, I have the same feeling. I said get up! Oh, frick. We literally can't do anything. Could I show you this, Mr. Lord? I'm the Lord Chief Justice. I'm not here to offer advice about evidence. Oh. Especially when the evidence in question is so dull. Ah, so that's the real reason. Okay. Okay, so, okay. Bentlek is not here. Okay. Well, he's right here. That's the President Katoba over there. Hello, you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm unpacked. But where's John Chigoko? Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's taking himself off to pay his respects to all the legal bigwigs. Having only just arrived in the country today, goodness, he is full of energy. Professor, you mentioned something before about how you'd known the prison governor at Barclay Prison? Oh, Governor Kaiden, you mean? So it is the same man. Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refused to talk to us. He said we were suspicious Easterners. Well, I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story. Oh, would you? That would be wonderful if you had the time now. Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment. Busy drinking coffee on a comfortable settee? Now, I have a rather lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that out loud, did I? You Mikitobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Or could it be that you Naruhodos are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts? Let's not fall out now, I have an idea. What's he writing on that piece of paper? Here's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully when he sees my name, he'll change his tune. Ah, thank you. Okay. Good luck then. Wait, what's this? Oh, it looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. The SS Grouse. Or Grouse. First class cabin 001. Yokohama departure 11th September. 11th of September. London arrival November 1st. And that's the Pope that Mr. Mikitoba and Judge Jacobo came on from Japan, isn't it? Yes, I think it's called the Dunkirk on the north coast of France. Called the Dunkirk and for France for a night before finally arriving at Dover. To think it's finally been supposed to be a year since we arrived at Dover on the SS Beria. Seems a shame not to keep your ticket as a memento of your trip, don't you think? Yes, I agree. I have mine safely in my diary. I keep mine in my wallet, so I have it with me at all times. Oh, well, how strange. Where could it have gone? Are you like this on purpose, Mr. Nahara? Did I imagine it, or was that comment accompanied by a little sigh? Looks like Mikitoba has a wonderful handwriting, doesn't he? This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. Is this just me, or does that make me sound extremely untrustworthy? I do wish he'd at least call you a nice young man. I'm really not sure what that would help. Also, why is it torn like this? Maybe I'm just... Actually, now that... It's very fine embroidery here that shows the name of the armbrand's owner. In this case, Kazuma Asagi. So I'm always carrying my best friend's hopes and dreams with me on my arm just here, all the time. To be honest, it's something that weighs very heavily on me. Oh, I didn't realize it was such a burden, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I think it's why my right shoulder aches so much. Are you sure that's not to do with your reading in bed, or like... Okay, I thought there might be a little bit of a difference because of, like, you know... Anyway, let's actually go to the prison governor's office. Okay. If you just cast your eyes over this, Governor Kaiden... What's this then? You cannot pull wool over my eyes, you good for nothing Japanese student! Mikitoba... That young jock from the forensic laboratory. That Mikitoba? Yes, exactly. Him! Oh dear, perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Yushin Mikitoba's daughter, Sasato. Jinx! You're the young man's daughter? And you didn't think to mention that before. I do apologize. Aye, well, you'd best take a seat then. Could I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps? And did I forget, had to try one of these wing handcuffed biscuits. I'm so sorry to every Scottish person I ever met. Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing. I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the outset now. So then, what can I do for you, Anne? Well, we're currently investigating a case. It's one of your warders, you see. He's gone missing. Missing? That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being the prison governor. I haven't heard of anything like the sort. There's no missing persons in my prison. Oh, but how could that be? It's Mr. Daily Vigil, your chief warden. Eh? Vigil? That's right. His wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Let's skip the part about him only going missing yesterday for now. Surely that means something to him. Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir? Aye, of course. Well, let's take a look around. Well, first let's actually look at the clock. This grandfather clock is fitted with a terrifying blade that keeps dropping down. It's modeled on the guillotine, a French execution device. You might have heard of it. Ah yes, before you ask, it can show heads off you mean? Heavens no, character positives and so forth. Oh. If you place a large carrot at the bottom in the morning, by evening it'll be cooked clean in two. Well, the blade must have an almost indescribable edge on it then. Wait. So wait, it takes that long to cut a carrot in half? An axe, a hunting rifle, and 4 pairs of handcuffs. That's a daunting collection. Ah, there's a story behind every one of those. You mean, the rifle was a famous killer's murder weapon, the axe was wielded by an infamous executioner, and the handcuffs were once used to immobilize a fierce 4-legged beast when it was arrested? I think you're in the realms of fantasy now, Mr. Naruto. Not those kind of stories, Jimmy. That axe was the one I used to chop down the cherry tree at my house. Mrs. Kaiden was not best pleased. And the cuffs on the left are the ones I caught my first burglar with when I was a bobby. The stories were a little different to those you imagined, I think, weren't they? Yes, to my relief, and in some small way my disappointment. I never expected to find a parrot in prison. It must be the governor's pet. Given where we are, it's hard not to see the poor creature as a prisoner. Lemuel! Did it kill me? Has the bird learned to mimic the plaintive cries of inmates in the cells? Oh no, he was one of the 3 siblings you see, and he still calls out the names of his 2 brothers like that all the time. What? Right. Lemuel, did it kill me? I hear you, laddie. You want your dinner, eh? Didn't I do it? That's a very large cabinet full of papers, isn't it? It's labeled Inmate Register, look. And all the files are in alphabetical order. That's 50 years worth of records of Buckley inmates. Whether or not they're left alive after serving their term. All the details of both the crimes they committed are recorded there, like an epitaph you might say. Record of crimes and punishments, how dispiriting. And yet, this man seems to be enjoying tea and biscuits as he talks about it. Give me a second, I gotta use the bathroom again, I apologize. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, let's see. These are all the former governors of Berkeley prison, aren't they? Either that or former inmates who the governor has sent to the gallows. Oh dear, they all have such severe expressions. I really couldn't deny either possibility, especially the one on the extreme right. His expression goes beyond severe to a whole new territory. That one's me. Ah! I'm terribly sorry, sir. Is it a prerequisite of the job, perhaps? Having a severe expression, I mean? Of course it's not. Although, it is taken into consideration. A lot. Okay, let's actually talk. We understand Mr. Vigil was the chief warder here at the prison. Aye, that he was. Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated to the job. No doubt about it. He was a fine warder. Was? Sorry, did you say was? Aye, he does not work here no more. He left the job. Oh my. When was this exactly? There's a question. There's a question. When was it about? It could have been much less than 10 years ago now. What? 10 years ago? He stopped working here 10 years ago? Aye, as I minded you can. I haven't heard of the fella's name in all that time. That's a worry if he's gone missing though. But Mrs. Vigil made no mention of it. I think perhaps Mr. Naruhodo that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here. Governor Kaiden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give up his job here? That's important, is it? Yes, I believe it may be. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? I can't help wondering, given that it was 10 years ago, which was exactly when the professor was being held at this prison. Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of chief warder 10 years ago, you're telling us. What happened to make him leave the job? In actual fact, he did not leave the job willingly. He had no choice in that matter. You mean he was dismissed? Fired? Let go? Shot? It was after a particular walk. Sorry, a walk? Aye, that's the word for it here. A walk to the gallows. An execution. It's the job of the chief warder to prepare the gallows tree and oversee any executions, you see. Only Vigil did something unthinkable on that last walk he was manning. What did he do? I'm sorry, but I cannot reveal that information. But I can tell you that it's very rare for a chief warder to be relieved of his post. But why wouldn't Mrs. Vigil know about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here. I wouldn't can know anything about that, I'm afraid. Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal? And what will that be, Hen? That last execution that Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing, was it by any chance the professor's? My thoughts exactly. I'm sorry, I really am. But I'm at no liberty to answer that. I see. It had to be the professor. My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine. But you seem to have been well acquainted. The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research. Did you not, Ken? Yes, I can imagine. The advancement of medical science isn't always particularly palatable. Your father worked in the laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard, in the basement of St. Sinner's. It's still in use today. St. Sinner's? That's come up before, I'm sure. Yes, that's right, we've been there. Mikitoba and I have used to ride in a carriage together and negotiate terms for more fresh material, I suppose. Aye, and we used to sit in here for hours and gab on about the section of all sorts. Ugh, it takes me back. Over a pot of dinner, plate of cough biscuits, of course. How charming. He was a good fellow, your father. Reliable, and dead set on his work. But I'm afraid I'll never understand your Japanese. Because of Genshin Asugi, I suppose. Huh. Well, I cannot tell you anything else. Thank you so much for your time, Governor. Oh, one more before your way in. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Ah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit to the prison. What is it? It's Vigil's dismissal notice. See, it's 10 years old now, of course. Oh my, are you sure? Aye, it's no trouble though. It's not the original mind. Huh. Thank you very much, Governor Kaiden. Well, in return, never come back? Do me a favor and never come back here. Yeah, that gate is closed. Okay. Well, I think we have to return to Baker Street for the time being. Yes, I agree. We need to report to Mr. Sholmes with what we found out about Mr. Vigil. So I'm guessing that this guy is going to be one of the jurors for this trial, for the next trial. What will we tell Mrs. Vigil, I suppose? We're back. Hello, you two. Hello, you two. I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones for us. Oh, so that's what the delicious smell is. Grace with them. Oh my gosh! What the frick did you freaking? You returned a good deal sooner than I was anticipating. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Say nothing. Your thoughts are written all over your faces in any case. It turns out that it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration tonic before application. Oh my. Pray, tell me, what of our water friend? Have you gotten some new information? Oh, yes. Something very surprising, in fact. Though it's not a patch on your hair, to be honest. It most certainly isn't. But still, we discovered that... Sholmes! Up! Sholmes! Drop everything, Sholmes! This is more important! Gina? I can't even it. I haven't even... Gina, what happened? What happened? Clearly a very brave manner indeed. For Miss Lestrade to be made no mention of my hair whatsoever. It's the boss. What do you mean, Inspector Gregson? The boss is... he's dead. What? Huh? What? They just found his body. Shot with a pistol. What? But Inspector Gregson, he was murdered? No, not Gregsy. Come in, my dear girl. Tell us the whole story. Gina, I wanted to show you this. No, what am I thinking? This is hardly the time, is it? Wait, what? What? Okay. 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 Jeez, I can't believe it's still... Okay. So... Gregson's... Are you serious, David? Inspector Gregson was... He was really shot? I don't know much about what happened myself yet. They're still there, investigating the scene. Where did this take place? A little rented room in a building full of flats on Fresno Street. The outskirts of town. Nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case then. The thing is, no one at the yacht knows nothing about no case around there. Oh, how strange. Oh, my boss, he was so good to me. I know I ate much yet, but one day I was gonna show him. Become a private detective. Jenny. So who did this? You have any idea who the culprit is? They got him already. Already? They caught the shooter so soon? Witness reported something was going on, and the boys got straight down with there and took the case of him. Who? What awful person did this? I still can't believe it myself. Gina. It was the Reaper. What? What? But wait a minute. You don't mean they've arrested Lord Zykes for it? That's right. The Reaper bloke's gone and shot the boss. No, Lord Zykes? What the frick? Yeah, it kinda does! It kinda does remind me of a few other cases! Are you quite sure, Miss Lestrade? It's Barrick Von Zieks the police have arrested. I saw him with my own eyes in the interview room with Yod. I don't believe it. But there were witnesses, and they've all saying it was him. So you mean there were actually multiple witnesses? They heard the gunshot, apparently. And when I got to the scene, there was only the boss and the Reaper bloke in the room. But there's no way Lord Van Zykes would have taken Gregson's life. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it either. But... Thank you for informing us, Mrs. Strayed. This really is the most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What do you say sorry for? You didn't do nothing! Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over the scene right now. Please come and all, as soon as you can. You gotta help. Holy cow. The detective's lot to appear whenever some sinister plot has unfolded. What a wonder why you all look haggard. Sometimes these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Sholmes. What use is there being a great detective if I fail to see something like this coming? How can I let this happen to Gregson? Senora Huda. I shall leave at once to begin my investigation. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can glean. I'm sure you are intending to do so anyway. Till later then. Oh, Inspector Gregson dead, and Lord Van Zykes arrested. Bruno, Susie, I've called you a handsome. He is waiting outside. Thanks, Iris. Shall we, Mrs. Sutter? Yes. Alright then, let's go. But when did this happen? We saw him. We just saw him like hours ago. There he is, Lord Van Zykes behind bars. So it's true, he really was arrested. He's sitting with his back to the wall, reading something. I don't think he's noticed us yet. Lord Van Zykes? Fancy meeting you here. The last place on Earth I'd like to be, but the last person on Earth I'd like to see. I couldn't very well not come. We heard what happened. That Inspector Gregson was... Go home. This has nothing to do with you. But... Forgive me, Lord Vincex, but I must disagree. Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him, at the very least. We owe it to him to find out the truth about his death. You must help us with our investigations, please. There's really nothing I can tell you. What were you just reading at the back of the cell there? Was it something related to the case? This? The Yard isn't quite so cavalier with its information as to share case details with a suspect. This is a letter from an old acquaintance. Oh, who might that be? Someone you know, as it happens. Albert Harebrain. Of course, yes. I keep forgetting that they went to the same university. And I would like to read my correspondence in peace. So let's get this over with, shall we? What is it you want to know? Strange. I mean, let's face it, Lord Vincex never minces his words. But they seem to have less bite than usual somehow. Oh boy! I think you know that this is worn by people in my country to show that they're defense lawyers, don't you? And I think you know that I believed you to be merely playing at lawyercraft initially. But it would seem your armband may actually imply some dormant talent after all. Lord Sykes, do you mean... Let's hope you wake up soon. Yes, I was clearly daydreaming. I almost thought I got a compliment there! So what happened? Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Sykes? What happened? How much do you already know? Gregson's dead. We know that Inspector was shot dead in a small rented room on Fresno Street, and that you were found there by the police when they arrived on the scene and immediately arrested. We were told that there was nobody else in the room and the witnesses heard the gunshot. Then you're well informed. And there's really nothing I can add. The truth is, I don't know what happened myself. But the gunshot! Obviously didn't fire the gun, did you? I'm not in the habit of shooting the people I work alongside. I also heard the noise, however... Before I had a chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the arriving officers. So he doesn't actually know what happened. If I might ask, what were you doing at that place to begin with? I don't need to answer that. Oh, after all, you're not representing me. He is going to need a lawyer, though. Who is going to be representing you in court, Lord Van Legs? Anyone other than you, I should imagine. Would I be right in assuming that you have no representation as yet? Defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know. But this is different. In my career, all of the defendants I've prosecuted, only 19, have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked now. Surely not! I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me with the end of a barge pole. But you didn't actually have anything to do with those previous deaths, did you? It's been 10 years now that I've been known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Believe me, nobody wants to know the true identity of this killer more than I. However, it seems things may come to a head before I have the chance to uncover the truth about that. He could probably represent himself. It's just... Well, what does he mean by that? Well, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, being a prosecutor and a defense attorney are pretty different things altogether. I mean, even if Edgeworth can be a defense lawyer, a defense attorney in one case, doesn't mean that every prosecutor can be one. After the trial, Professor Harebrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany, I thought. It's a letter to inform me of his safe arrival at home. I arranged his passage by sea and rail. It's a relief, I must say. He should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper. Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean? Yes, so it seems. Your astute little Nipponese friend, for example. He told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day. Yes, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo. So Professor Harebrain is safely back in Germany now. He is. That still leaves Gina. So, it appears our conversation has run dry. There's a 2-second silence, that's all. Well, in any event, if you'll excuse me now, I wouldn't like to detain you. I was wondering, Lord Van Zykes, if you'd like, I'd be happy to advocate for you. You trust me, do you? Yes! I've heard you speak many times in court. I've seen how you treat people. So I'm quite sure that you would never have taken another life. It's just, my feelings can't be used as evidence in a court of law, sadly. It's a very gracious offer. However, I trust no one. What? Not the police, not the judiciary, and not you Nipponese. But please, I have no intention of engaging your services. The chasm between us is just too wide and too deep, it seems. I'd appreciate if you don't visit again, as neither of us will waste any more time. Perhaps we need to dig a little deeper and find out more about Lord Van Zykes and what happened to Inspector Gregson. Whew. Oh. Oh man. This really is an out of the way part of London. I doubt many people will find their way down this back street. So this dust-ridden rented old room is where it happened then. So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life. Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. I don't see Mr. Sholmes anywhere, though. Perhaps his investigations have taken him elsewhere. Oi, what do you think you're doing there? Every one of the drawers has gotta be taken out now so you can look right underneath them all. I want the spaces above the ceiling checked, and don't forget to look inside the chimney stack, too. Blimey, ain't your lot never gone over to the house looking for dough when the owners are out of town? Gina's obviously got some unique investigative techniques she wants everyone to adopt. I mean... Oh, so you turned up to that. Mind you, I ain't been here long myself. Hello again, Gina. Sholmes has only just left. You're lucky you missed that. He went prancing around in here, pointing at stuff and flicking that and then just scarpered. Oh, he finished investigating already, you mean? Yeah. He didn't stop to say nothing to no one, not even me. Gina, would you mind if we investigated too? Listen, Otto, you're a lawyer, right? Yes. Why? Well, you're not thinking of trying to help that Reaper bloke, are you? Oh, Gina. She's never gonna forget, is she? That trial will haunt her forever. Gina, if you don't mind me saying, if Lord Van Zykes really is responsible for this crime, he will be duly and fairly judged in court. I suppose you're right. Yeah. Go on then, Otto. Get investigated. I want to know the truth about what really happened there. Yeah. Thank you, Gina. Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place? That's what I want to know. It's, what, half a year since I got out of the clinic? That's when I decided to give up me diving and become a detective instead. Oh yeah, Mr. Sholmes twisted the inspector's arm to agree to take you up as an apprentice, didn't he? Something like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I didn't really think much about the boss till then. But it turns out he's a bit of a legend at the yard. Goodness, really? As they managed to solve some really tricky case just like that. He did. Yep, and ever since then he started going out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what applications he's working on, apparently. That's not how it's supposed to work, is it? So what was the legendary inspector doing in a dingy little room like this? I know he had a lot of respect for the Reaper and all. And look where that landed him. Respect for the Reaper? In what way? I heard him say as much. I take my hat off to that fella, were his words. Not how the general public feels it, is it? Most people are terrified of the Reaper. Yeah, the boss said that's exactly why he respected the bloke. I didn't realize Redson held the Reaper in quite such high regard. He said something else to me and all. That I didn't need to worry about the Reaper, because he only goes after people what are bad. It did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that. Right. What is this place then? Does anyone live here? Apparently it's been rented by some cub called Hugh Boone. Hugh Boone? Hugh Boone? It's sort of a here today, gone tomorrow name, isn't it? Yeah, he's what we call an unidentified person. We haven't been able to get in touch with him. Let's see. Well, judging from appearances, I have to say this place hasn't been lived in for a long time, if ever. Right? And the lads from the yard piled down to get stuck into the investigation. But there's still little here. No one knew what to do with themselves. I do wonder. Yes, Mr. Sana? Well, could it be that this Hugh Boone is in fact Inspector Gregson himself? What? How could that be? Well, if he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office of his. I never even considered that. Nice work, Suze. We're actually following a line of inquiry like that ourselves. You are? If you look around the room, you'll see there's a few things that hint at it. We should really investigate this place in detail. I see that's where the poor inspector was found. Over there. Curled up. Yeah, that's right. They said it was a single bullet what did him in. Apparently the bullet went right through him and struck the candle tray on the wall. Oh yeah, that's blown one of the candles apart completely. In the gun, is in on the floor. It's the Reaper's in it. No denying that. What? Really? How do you know that? Take it easy. I don't know what to do with myself when you stare at me with them big white eyes. More than what I've heard. I don't know much about guns myself, but there's some bigwig lawman or whatever that said so. Why don't you ask him? A bigwig lawman, is it? Anyway, Fresno Street runs along that window there. There were some street sellers outside who heard the gunshot. Oh, but I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Yeah, they've all been taken by the yard for questioning. That's why. We're talking the yard's legendary inspector here. After all, they'll begin the grilling. Do you think we might be able to speak with those street sellers ourselves? I doubt it. The lads of the yard will just want to know what you're stupid for and you'll end up being grilled and all. So they can't interview the witnesses then. Shame. Okay, let's take a look around. First, the elephant. This looks like some sort of notice board or something. It's absolutely covered in scraps of paper. Like, I'm just half expecting, like, to see a few lines being drawn of, like, connections, like a conspiracy board. Is that hard to look? You mean, it's an autopsy report, isn't it? And these are case notes here. These are details of prison inmates. Yes, in fact, they're all the sort of documents that only a detective could normally acquire. What on earth went on in this room? Some more newspaper cuttings. Ah, this one here. Yes, the advertisement menu to the Red-Headed League. But why? What's that doing here? Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason. Oh, it's a photograph scan. I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members. What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head. They are. Look. But Mr. Naruto, quickly. Why do I feel like this woman is familiar somehow? Of course she's familiar. We met her only this morning. Ah! It's Mrs. Vigil. This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in here? To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped. I'm sorry to say I have no idea either. Okay. What the heck? So this chimney. An empty fireplace makes room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it? It's thick with dust. Look, I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time. In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather. Or nobody lived here at all and merely visited when the occasion arose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely. No, that's right. It's one or the other. What the heck? Oh, what's this? It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it, in a way? Seeing as it's on the floor here, do you think it belongs to Inspector Gregson? It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zyg's playing with something like this. It's only about 8 centimeters tall. It could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. I think we should record it as evidence, just in case. Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful after all. In a way. The helmet of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear. I'm not convinced about the charming part, but yes, you're right. The head part looks like it's been fairly heavily manhandled, almost as if somebody has enjoyed twisting it around and around for fun. Shall we try twisting it around and around too, for fun? What's that? It appears to be some sort of key, but it's tiny though. It could be a key for a door, not at that size. So what is it for, I wonder? Uh-huh. This looks like some sort of key. And it comes out at a very, interesting place. Yes, it does. A very tiny and simple key. What's a key doing inside a figurine of a policeman in the first place? And what's it for? Okay, here's the gun. This is presumably the murder weapon, then. Oh my, it's real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are sort of rare in Japan. I don't really know very little about them. There's one way to know for sure. Fire a shot. No! If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court! Slightly safer to just ask someone who might know, I think. Okay, so the revolver. Why is there like a hook here? I suppose this must have been the murder weapon. Oh my, it is real, I suppose. I think so. The guns are so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them. Perhaps someone more familiar with firearms could shed a light on things here. I'm more curious about this hook thing. Or about that part. Also, there's a wig. Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing. Oh, funnily enough, neither can I. It's a hairpiece, isn't it? It is! A bright red hairpiece. And I suppose the fact that it's right there next to the body was found means we had to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, does it? And in such a flame-colored red, too. Yes, that is a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it? Exactly. This is a vital clue, I'm sure of it. Okay, let's look at the wig. Is that a hairnet? I've always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like. That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruto. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you? I'm not sure that's quite how I'd put it. You must have used lots of bird lime to keep it in place on your head, so it doesn't get blown off in a gust of wind, I mean. That might be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again, don't you think? Excuse me. Sorry, sir. Can't say a thing, so. To my tits, right. Perhaps I'd better leave you to your work then. Excuse me. If you're looking for Dino Nuts from the Great Beyond, Inspector, don't worry. We'll look at the things of the yard. I've interrupted the bleak thoughts there. Somebody very haphazardly nailed 2 boards over the broken glass, haven't they? You couldn't even really call it a window anymore. Well, if you remember the window in Miss Natsume's room, that was totally blocked up with bricks. This one at least still let in some light, so you could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel even more sorry for Miss Natsume now. The top of one of the candles in its handle holder has been completely blown off. Yes, it's a wax. Yes, there is wax on the wall behind. Look, I suppose if a bullet had hit it, it does seem likely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body. Now that wax on the wall looks like blood to me. I can't even see. It's hard to really see. Bleh. Anyway, we should probably look at the line. So I suppose this is where the victim, that's right, the rope is laid around the body to show exactly how it was formed. Poor Inspector Gregson himself had already been taken away. It would probably be under Dr. Sly's scalpel by now, if not for what happened last week. From the shape of the rope, it would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. Are you feeling alright, Mr. Naruto? You look like you've just seen a ghost. I know it's just a rope, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with the blood stain next to it. Oh, I do understand. In some ways, we picture in our minds can be even worse than in reality. Susana is so strong, though. She's taking this so far better than I am. Anyway, I suppose... excuse me? Oh, Inspector. Oh, sir. Oh man, he can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset. Wait. What about the chair? Okay. Hey, no. Hey, can you look at this gun? Gino, what do you make of this? What was that? Evidence? Worked someone about what happened, have you? Oh, no, not exactly. I ain't been long at the job and getting all the deductive business yet. But that's what I'm gonna get the president did this to the boss. Suppose we should. I guess we could try finding the. If he's back at the suite, then maybe. Okay, nope. Oh, we're back here. You've made good time. I took express train back to London. Here, Lord Strongheart, can you... Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone. Oh! Is everything in place? I had a private compartment on the train, so I could check all the paperwork. Kazuma-sama! Ah, your timing is impeccable. It is? No doubt you have heard the sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry. Yes. I'm sure you don't believe, and of course, though, Lord Strongheart, that Lord Van Zyggs could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson. I believe only in the facts. And the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accusal of Lord Van Zyggs for this crime. We must bring charges against the Reaper for taking the life of our legendary detective. Oh no, surely not! It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow, the forensic science synopsium finally begins. And at the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable processes. So does that mean the trial is tomorrow? Precisely. In fact, this is a fine opportunity for introductions. Kazuma. He's gonna be the prosecutor, isn't he? Ah, but of course, you're already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Asaki here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings, leading the prosecution. Oh boy. Wait, what? Kazuma's... As I'm sure you're aware, he is a very capable practitioner of law. Kazuma-sama, a prosecutor? So we're going to have to go up against him, most likely. I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no. People all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds. There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of the Bailey. And now, the Reaper himself must stand in the dock. Quite so. The public wants answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died in mysterious deaths. But Lord Van Zyggs firmly denies any involvement in such matter. And there have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent. That's certainly true. Or it has been at least, until now. No, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history. So, Kazuma will be prosecuting tomorrow. That's right. But he's a defense lawyer, Strongheart. Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. And imagine what it would mean for the prosecution to know the strategies commonly employed by the defense. A devastating combination, wouldn't you agree? Absolutely. I have no doubt at all that Kazuma will be a razor sharp as a prosecutor. But why Kazuma-sama? There are surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain. There was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to this trial. You asked for this? But why? It's all become clear tomorrow. I'm guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you? Although the Reaper appears to be turning down all offers of representation. I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented. Quite exceptional, in fact. You are quite right, Miss Mikitoba. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors, the pride of the Empire. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive it as a judiciary closing ranks. So that's why you're happy to let a foreigner help handle the prosecution. Ryunosuke, let's see how your skills have been honed. After practicing law in this land for so many months. Oh, what I think of Strongheart? He's. I mean, I really have nothing really to really no real opinions really. I'm just like he's just there, right for now. Like I don't really trust him, but I mean he's at least been helpful to not be in our way. So like I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. Yeah, why is Asagi so cold? Oh yes. We noticed if there was a gun at the scene of the Inspector. Do you know what if it belongs to Lord Van Dykes? That would be a question for the lady detective investigating the scene. Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up who might know. That's right, Mr. Naruto. Be direct. It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement, yes, which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine. And in that case, it could actually have belonged to the victim. No, Gregson had his gun on his person. What about Lord Van Dykes? He claims it's currently not in his possession. What? According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious. But just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's, it's no proof that it's actually his. No, of course not. Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Dykes. Hey, friendo! I'm sorry for all the worry I've caused you, but it'll be alright now. Has your memory completely returned? Yes, completely. I remember everything. Including what I was coming here to do. Right. Kasuba-sama, I can't tell how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London when you were suffering from amnesia? It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing it in my head constantly saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. It was that voice that guided me here to London. I'm so sorry for what's happened. Anyway, my memory might have returned to me, but there's something that won't return the way it was before. Huh? What do you mean? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon. It doesn't look like we're going to glean much more here. Well, thank you very much, Lord Strongheart. Remember, tomorrow's trial will go down in our Empire's history. There's much you could learn from the public gallery. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. We'll see ourselves out.
Hold it!
Oh, before you go, Ryunosuke. Oh, what is it, Kazuma? I just wanted to thank you. Kazuma-sama, what? You took my determination to heart and brought it with you over the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection. You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruto didn't want that to die with you. Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here. Oh? I actually have a favor to ask, which is, this trial will be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends, right in front of me, as a defense counsel. Why? What's this all about? I know you have what it takes. But Lord Van Dykes would never put his fate in my hands. On the contrary, he recognizes your talent. He does? It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this. That's Lord Van Dykes and Inspector Gregson. In a photograph that must have been taken some time ago by the look of it. Yeah, we did accuse someone of murdering Kazuma, so that person is And she's probably not gonna... She's probably still has no idea that he's still alive. Although she did... I mean, though it was still assault, so... Still... She's... it's a bit awkward. And who's the third person? His brother? It was displayed very prominently in a detective's office. In Grexon's office, you mean? Yes. What I'm trying to say is, if you really think you can trust the Reaper, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it. I don't understand. Why are you giving me this? Just hurry, Inosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost over. What are you doing, Kazuma? Lord Van Zyx is still reading that letter. We've been gone quite some time, though. Either he's an incredibly slow reader, or it's an incredibly long letter. I might even read English faster than he can. I was intending to ignore you entirely. But I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting Japanese. Oh, sorry, I didn't think you'd hear that. In that case, I had the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time. Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow, which is none of your business. So, have you found a lawyer? How many times must we reiterate the same thing? This has nothing to do with you. In other words, no. We were just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided. I took nothing less, though I have no idea who it is. It's going to be Kazuma Asaki. Asaki? That made the color drain from his face. Well then. It seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again after all. "10 years ago, my older brother, who was a director of prosecutions at the time, was murdered. And the killer, as you know, was a visiting student from the Far East. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name Asagi. Genshin Asagi was Kazuma-sama's father. So what cruel twist of fate it is now, 10 years later. The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court. I still don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you. It's what he does. No doubt he knew the young man's true identity from the outset. But what could he have been hoping to achieve? And let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago that Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to somebody like that? Asagi. That name is the very epitome of my bane. The bane that is you, Japanese. Right, your hatred of all us Japanese. I'd only just been appointed as a prosecutor. Frick! I'm guessing that those 3 follows are another 3 bots. Yeah, those have to be bots. I'd only been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened. Yet, sorry, bot. Yeah, those have to be bots. Yeah, the fact that they're all right there. Okay, give me a second. I should yeah, the fact that six people follows at the same time, those have to be bots. As unfortunate as it is to say. Okay, that should be all of them. Okay. Unless they appeal, like those people appeal the bans, then yeah. I'd only been appointed as a prosecutor when it happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, was hunting down a mass murderer. The so-called professor assigned to the investigation as his partner was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard, and that was Genshin Asagi. Exactly. I developed a deep respect for the man. He seemed noble-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me, but none of us saw the true nature of the man. So I lost everything when it happened. My esteemed brother, the people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong. Oh, how awful. To avenge my brother, I prosecuted Asagi's trial. It wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered the ascribed prosecutor until he consented. What do you mean by the ascribed prosecutor? The man in charge of the professor case inquiry, Lord Mail Strongheart. What? Wait, what? Lord Strongheart? He was a highly accomplished prosecutor, but he agreed to relinquish the trial to me and act as my advisor instead. Since that time, he's the one person to whom I felt indebted. I'm sure you must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor. Anyway, time passed. But then earlier this year, who should arrive in London but you? And of all things, as a lawyer. I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious loathing for us Japanese. I kept telling myself it was illogical. But for so many years that hatred had festered inside me. I could no longer control it. And I can understand why. Now I know the history. But in the same way that I felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life, to Kazuma Asagi, I am the bane of his. The Reaper who sent his father to the gallows. He's looking for revenge, and he intends to take it in court tomorrow. Greggson's transfer to the Paris Police Prefecture had finally been arranged for the coming month, but he'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy. Oh yes, come to think of it, he did mention something about that, didn't he? I wonder, does it happen often, being transferred internationally, I mean? It's the first time I've ever encountered it. Oh, the Paris police welcoming an English detective is almost inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement in place. It sounds like the mystery that he has even the Reaper perplexed. I'm a detective in, like I'm that detective in, or the inspector in a famous book. I'm afraid to say that we are very ignorant about Inspector Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend at Scotland Yard. Again, it was 10 years ago that he first made a name for himself, by uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would never have been made. What sort of approach? After my brother's life was taken, the inspector pushed for a full autopsy. Oh my, 10 years ago? Why is that so surprising? Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body at the time, and rarely performed, and my brother was of course a noble. That made the idea of it even more unthinkable, but something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determined it was necessary. His powerful conviction somehow influenced the House of Lords. As a result, I could avenge my brother's death. So you must have had great confidence in the inspector's abilities then. And it's even more inconceivable that you could have taken his life. I don't have confidence in anyone. Oh. And I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. I've no doubt he thought of me only as the ominous Reaper, just like the rest of London. What really went on between Lord Van Zykes and Gregson, I wonder? What was the true nature of their relationship? So about your gun. About the gun you used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene. Yes. That's not mine. Really, because common opinion seems to be that it is. What do you expect me to say to that? Lord Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm. As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true. When did you lose it then? That I don't know. Oh, I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stowed it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps. You have something in common with Lord Van Zykes, after all, Mr. Naruhodo. A talent for misplacing things. No, this has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it! Don't make a mistake of associating me with this Nipponese. Oh dear, the rift is very wide, isn't it? So it's not decisive evidence, clearly. But it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Ah, there are some black marks here, look. Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks. So perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? It's only this one candle that's been cracked in half, right? Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms rarely used by criminals in Japan, so I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them. I... Now I have. Lord Van Zykes, we came by this old photograph. Where'd you get that? It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost. Is the manager left there? Yes, that's my brother, Clint. Yep. It had to be, really. No problem. It was funny. Apparently this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you, you know. Were you aware of that? Respect? That's nonsense! No, we've heard someone attest to it very clearly. Inspector Gina Lestrade, no less. Well, maybe once, yes, there was a time when things were like that. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice, and other such lofty subject matter. That was a nice glimpse of the past. Thank you. I feel I got a nice glimpse of the past too. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle, an insight into the true nature of this man known to all as the stone-cold Reaper of the Bailey. Come on, you have to let us defend you. Please, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, that's the first time he's ever used my actual name! I've lost all confidence in my country's justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing I'm willing to believe in. What's that? That which you see in the eyes of another across the courtroom. A simple determination to know the truth. Lord Van Zykes! For the very first time we clashed in the Bailey almost a year ago now, I couldn't deny it, even though I dearly wished I could. Here's a loathsome Nipponese who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. There are only two other men I've known with that same look in their eyes. My brother, Clint, and Genshin Asaki. The man he idolized and the man who betrayed his trust in the most hideous way. When you showed me that photograph just now, it reminded me... You mean this photograph? back when I was able to laugh, I was free of the shackles of distrust that plague me now. I look to the future with hope. Since then, I've protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the mire into which I've sunk makes it almost impossible to breathe. I'm so sorry. So, Mr. Nahoda, I want you to believe in that look in your eyes. I need to believe in it. In tomorrow's trial, will you advocate for me? Of course I will. It would be an honor. Oh, so please, Mr. Nahoda, then my life is in your hands. For Lord Van Zykes, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask, which is why I simply cannot let the man down. Tomorrow in the Old Bailey against my old friend Kazuma. Oh boy. And with that, that's the first part of this case. Next time we'll be beginning in the trial. But anyway, so that's gonna be it for the Ace Attorney segment. But I'm gonna be right back. Gonna be right back with something else. I'm probably gonna the stream's probably gonna cut out while I'm gone, but don't leave just yet. We'll be right back with something I did yesterday. See you then.